Oh, hey everybody, welcome to Do You Believe on live Paranormal Zone TV this evening. We will be here until May using this channel. It's my backup channel, and for reasons I don't want to discuss, we will be here. But tonight I'm so excited. Oh, also, hey, anybody who's new to the show, if you would please subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And also you can go over to my main channel, Paranormal Zone TV, and all the main videos are on that channel. Also, please, if you want, give the show a like. I'd appreciate it. And I know Sean Austin would like that as well. And our guest tonight is Sean Austin. I'm so excited. This is Sean's fourth time on the show, and it's really exciting to have him back on the show. Sean is a paranormal investigator. He was featured on the Demon Files on Destination America. Sean is also a songwriter and a musician. And also, I believe this is Sean's first published book. Is that correct, Sean?
That is correct.
So, Sean, welcome to the show, honey.
Thank you so much, Norene.
We're off, huh? Hey, you want to tell the viewers a little bit more about yourself before we start the show?
Yeah. Well, obviously, I'm a paranormal investigator. My first passion was music, and this year is my decade that I've been involved in the paranormal, and it's been a whole new life that took place ever since the weird stuff started to come into my life, and I got involved with it, engaging the spirit realm and learning from it every single day of my life ever since I began. Yeah, it's been an interesting ride, to say the least.
Sean, now you're a songwriter and a musician, but yet you're in the paranormal. How did that happen?
Well, yeah, like my first passion when I was a teenager, I learned to play guitar, took like 3 lessons, then my ear became my best teacher, and I loved writing songs, creating them, and releasing emotions, putting them into music, and that form of expression was so special to me. And now looking back to it, I mean, thinking about spirituality and music go hand in hand together, what, out of nowhere in my late 20s, I got involved with the paranormal, but by mistake, trying to prove to a skeptic friend who didn't believe in ghosts, and took him to a local cemetery to have an experience, and then I ended up having the experience, and then I started searching and going out and investigating and learning and having crazy experiences along the way, and reading books to inform myself, to formulate and mold all the knowledge that I've had through these experiences to better myself and also help others in the process.
Mm-hmm. And this is your first book, and you named it Shadow Chaser. What's that?
Yes.
How did you come about that title?
Okay, so actually, I mean, people in the paranormal field, we all have, people who are psychics and stuff, and I have friends that have abilities, like I have abilities now too, which is something that happened to me that I'm learning about still, engaging the world and everything that I was doing when I was investigating. But I have a good friend of mine, her name is Judy. She has abilities, but she actually has another psychic friend of hers that she really trusts in her abilities, and she decided to take a picture from online and show it to this friend of hers that's really good with her ability. And she's like, "What are your psychic impressions on him?" And she said that he's a shadow chaser. And she's like, "Well, what do you mean?" And she said that he's meant to take shadows and send them back to where they belong. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm calling my book that.
Oh, awesome. Now, Sean, do you have any abilities yourself?
I do, yes.
What are those?
It's all incorporated around medium abilities. I mean, I'll have premonitions. I can feel, hear, see things. I've seen flashes of horror around people. I see balls of light around people, different colors. I telepathically hear spirits speaking. Most of the time, it's like a text message to my head. I can pick up objects and feel energy off of them. I still feel like I'm still learning about it. The more I, use it, the better I'm getting at it. So I can use it to its fullest capability. Because I think I've only really known I've had it for the last 6 or 7 years. But the more, like I said, it's like a spiritual muscle. The more you use it, the more you develop it, and you can, learn from all those experiences and use it as an extra piece of equipment on an investigation that you can correlate with some of the scientific equipment you use while we investigate, to get confirmation of what your impressions are, whatever they may be.
It seems like you attract really negative entities when you are conducting your paranormal investigations, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's been a calling from the beginning of my journey that, one of the stories in my book was there was this house, a tragic murder and 2 suicides took place involved with the property. And I was bouncing around cemeteries and, just figuring out. I just drove by this house every night after thinking, I'm like, this place has to be haunted. And this whole thing happened. You've seen so many shows where, like a haunting. And at the time, I watched some of these documentaries and the scenarios that would take place. Say, for instance, there was an episode of a family and they're experiencing paranormal activity in their house. And a psychic medium comes in and says, hey, look, there's this man that murdered his family and he took his own life and he will not let the family cross over because he's afraid to be accountable for his own actions, which he ended up murdering his family. So he keeps them trapped in that dimension and from transitioning into the light and into heaven. And that scenario kind of played out in my mind when I was driving by this house, and I'm thinking, like, maybe they're trapped there. And I went there and got an EVP of this girl's voice saying, killed my mother is what killed me too. And that's what happened. This girl's mother was bludgeoned to death by the husband. The husband went and jumped off a bridge, killed himself. And then to the date, to the stepfather that killed himself, the daughter jumped off the same bridge and said, Mom, I'm coming to look for you. And that's why I feel like that place was going to be haunted. And when I went back, when I got one EVP from just sitting on the side of the property in my car, we started getting EVPs of help me and a blood-curdling scream and all this stuff. And that was a scenario that was going on and playing over my head. And just one night, I went there at midnight and went to the side of the property. I didn't know what I was doing. I was a novice investigator, and I just took holy water and threw it on the stairs. And I said, in the name of Jesus Christ, if there's anything evil trapping the mother or the daughter here, you let them go. And from 2 months on after that, which is the story in my book, this daughter of who ended up taking her life, never getting over the murder of her mother, she followed me for 2 months straight. And everywhere I would go and investigate, she would come through and talk to me. And I had this crazy long experience. But what I'm trying to come to is that it seems to be like a calling. See, now, I didn't know what I was doing. Now, what I did there was religious provocation, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was a beginner. I just felt like I was doing the right thing. Obviously, I was doing the right thing, but I wasn't informed in how to truly protect myself. I mean, I was brought up Catholic and stuff like that, but there's specific methods that you'd have to do to keep yourself protected, dealing with that level of entities and stuff like that. And when you try to take souls away from the devil, you make yourself an enemy of you make yourself an adversary of the enemy of man for the rest of your life, and you got to be prepared for that. And that's when a lot of the dark shit started happening to me, because you become a target and you piss off evil spirits. And a lot of dark things started happening to me, and it just seemed to be a calling of whether I'm helping people or helping souls trying to find the light and praying for them. And it just seems to be why these evil things come at me, because, again, they don't like what I stand for and what I'm capable of doing, because I'm bringing light into places that are with full of darkness. So I just try to do what's right and keep my faith and my spirituality in check and keep myself protected. But a lot of things have happened to me, and I've learned a lot. And I was oppressed by an evil spirit. The story's in my book. And it's all these little bad things that we experience in the paranormal, just like in daily life. It's about learning through the things that we struggle through. And it may be spiritual or any other thing that you can go through in your daily life. But when it comes to the paranormal, I believe that God let me go through that so I can have a deeper understanding of what people go through when it comes to oppression. Because evil spirits it's not about like things thrown around the house and getting scratched or things like that. It's the psychological breakdown that these things can amplify in your mind and push you right to the edge where you'd want to harm yourself or others that you care about. That's the delicate nature of the paranormal, and that's why it's so important to read up on the scenarios that can take place in the worst case events of activity and entities you're dealing with.
So, Sean, do you think that there's a difference? Okay, there's negative entities, and then there's demonic entities or demonic spirits. Do you think they're the same, or is there a difference? And how can you tell if one's just a really bad negative spirit as opposed to a demonic spirit, if they are?
Well, there's certain characteristics that a demonic entity will display. Things like 3 scratches on a person, 3 knocks, foul, putrid smells of rotting flesh or sulfur, scratching on the walls, and very extreme paranormal activity of moving very heavy objects that human spirits wouldn't be able to do. So that's what the type of things that we look for. And the type of experience that the individuals have on a property that you try to assume and try to figure out what a kind of entity is lingering and attacking the people on the property. But yes, there can be just negative human spirits. Just like there's good and bad people, there's good and bad ghosts, because they were humans just like we are alive today. And for whatever the reason, they haven't transitioned themselves, and they probably carry over that personality and sadistic nature that they may have had when they were alive. I mean, there's a lot of spirits that are around that are still angry because they're stuck and they don't want to go into the light because they don't want to be accountable for the actions that they did when they were alive. And that's a lot of the things that we can deal with when it comes to the entities.
So how many of your investigations that you have become involved with a demonic entity as opposed to just a negative entity?
I mean, like legitimate demonic. Obviously, there was a couple on the show, The Demon Files. I'd say there's been like a handful. Not like, I mean, you get references to evil things, and that's why you got to differentiate between. There's a lot of spirits that play games, and they'll say things like Satan and stuff like that. But yeah, certain cases, I'd say like, a quarter of the cases that you deal with are in, if they're dealing with the demonic, it could be legitimate, but not many that are legitimate. It's just because there's so much that come into play to really figure that out, but not that much.
Mm-hmm. When you come across, so do you think now that it sounds like you're really really good at this paranormal investigating, and you're quite professional now in it, and you know a lot about it, and you've learned a lot. Do you try to work with these demonic entities to cleanse the family or the person and get them to leave?
Yes. Well, if it's a human spirit we're dealing with and we investigate and we get evidence of that's what we're dealing with, then we will do a blessing of the property with holy water, bless salt, and prayer, and bless Saint Benedict metals in the 4 corners of the property to seal it and displace the energies and figure out what's there, obviously, so we can. I also like to acknowledge the spirits to figure out what's making them tick. Why are you here? And that's why I try to gauge some of these spirits and give them incentive to, even if they did something not so great when they're alive, God's full of unconditional love and forgiveness, and they have that opportunity. You have to take that leap of faith, even though you may have not been a good person in life. And that interaction on the combination of blessing the property has a really good chance of making the spirit move on. And at least, obviously, after the blessing, ultimately, idealistically, you want to displace it so the family it can live at home in a sanctuary, and that's really what the home and the house should stand for, feeling safe at their home.
Mm-hmm. Anybody that is thinking about going into paranormal investigating, do you advise it?
You know what? I put myself in other people's shoes because I was in that same boat too. I don't want to say don't get involved. Is it dangerous? Absolutely. But we have our free will. Each individual in the world can, I feel like I'm involved in this because I have a calling, and it brought me into this world. It's really what you do with those experiences. It doesn't have to be paranormal. It's every universal thing that we go through in life. What our experiences, what makes us knowledgeable about things, and bringing that light into the world, doing something for our fellow man. So it's amazing experiencing this stuff, but most importantly, at the same time, we have to show respect to the spirits, the souls, the purgatorial souls that are stuck. And I think being able to share your story with people that can relate to you, that are out there and feeling alone, that maybe they're thinking they're crazy, just like me writing my first book, having people read that stuff, and someone out there is thinking, wow, I'm not crazy. These are all positive things that you can turn into this privilege that I call a humbling privilege, to be able to experience anything with the paranormal. It's doing something good with it, putting it out into the world, and also keeping yourself protected and having a strong faith foundation in the process. That's what's so important. So whatever experiences you can go through, do something good with it and help others with it, and keep yourself protected and everyone around you protected as well.
What was it like working on the Demon Files?
I mean, it was an interesting experience. Ralph's a unique personality. He's a very strong personality. But I was very appreciative and honored to be around, Ralph. He was around the pioneers of the field. I mean, he was, taught by the Ed and Lorraine Warren, and then his mentors were, Malachi Martin and Bishop McKenna. These were all pioneers in the paranormal field. To be around any of these people that had been around that time, when the paranormal was just a small group of people that were making huge waves and helping people when TV wasn't even part of it. That was when true passion was really there. And it's a little hard to decipher these days, because the paranormal is really part of the Hollywood scene. That's why you have all this drama and garbage that goes on. Before, we didn't have all that. It was more about the scientific approach and how you can help people. And that's really what the Warrens were doing. And Ralph was doing, going to people's homes and exercising the homes and helping and displacing evil spirits and all this stuff. And so it was an honor. It was a good experience for me. And it's just another part of my journey that helped formulate what I do. The way that Ralph does it on the show, now that's the way I do it. I bless the home if there's a human spirit. I mean, if we find evidence of a demonic entity, we do an exorcism on the property. Mm-hmm. Now, I know some people will be like, well, you're not allowed to do exorcisms. As long as I'm in a state of grace and I do a small fast on that day, I can do the exorcism of a property. Solemn exorcism has to be a priest on an actual individual. And that's the way Ralph taught us, and that's the way I'm doing it from now on. And like I said, I never thought that I'd be sitting here talking about this 10 years later with all these ridiculously crazy experiences and saying that I'm, some sort of demonologist or investigator of the paranormal for 10 years. It's mind-blowing, but I'm humbled, and like I said, I just want to do good with it. I want to help others and make an impact, and with all the people and the individuals I can along my journey. And that's something, again, I believe all of us should be doing.
What was so do you have a case that really stands out to you that was the scariest and the most involved and frightening case for you? Or is there more than one?
There is a case that I'm actually writing about in my second book, because I'm working on my second book currently, and I actually sent you one of the images from it. It was just one random image. But, this girl, she was pregnant, and she was going through demonic possession. And it's funny because she was states away from me, and she was coming to me for help. And it was right before I was working with Ralph, and I didn't know what to do. And it's just one of those things you have to learn, is that it's very hard not to get emotionally involved with people and wanting to help them and do everything you can to help them. And you think about a girl who's pregnant, and you go to people, and no one wants to touch it with a 10-foot pole, because if something happens to the baby, then you could be considered responsible. And it makes you think about, Annalise, which is the true story of exorcism, Emily Rose. I mean, look what happened to the family and the priest who did the exorcisms on her, and then she ended up starving herself to death and dying, and then they got charged for negligent homicide. I forget offhand, but when you have a baby, I mean, you got to be really careful of that. I did everything I could for months with this girl, and I had insane experiences. I mean, this girl talked on the phone with me in English backwards and in Latin, and I didn't even know what she was saying, and I was recording the conversations, and I put some of the conversations in reverse, and she was speaking straight up English to me. I never forget, she was on the phone with me, speaking in a low-tone voice and saying, "She's mine." And I started saying a prayer or something. I have the recording. I had a crucifix this big.
Oh
she cannot see me on the phone. And as soon as I put the cross up to the phone, hissed at me.
Oh, no.
Like one of those moments where I just had full body chills, and I'm just like, that's a defining moment for me. I mean, like, thinking about it with my faith. I mean, witnessing things of that nature, reacting negatively of things of religious significance. You're talking about bringing my faith to an unchartable level. It's the difference between believing in God and knowing that God exists with things like that, events like that I've experienced along the way. There was so much stuff that happened with this girl, and it was very terrifying, and it doesn't end well either. I mean, there was a symbol that showed up on her pregnant belly, and we believe it meant infertility. And she was carving upside down crosses on her pregnant belly. There's so much stuff that happened with this. That was really intense for me because I didn't know what to do, and having to deal with the baby and stuff like that. I would say that's probably the most intense thing that I dealt with, because I was just
what happened
loaded up
to
with
her?
the story and trying to help the girl and getting phone calls almost every day with some insane thing happening. And I have so much evidence from this case, and I wasn't even there. I mean, I have video, I have audio, I have pictures. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. I mean,
oh my God.
It's pretty mind blowing. So I just, one of those things. It was a really crazy experience for me. That's why I wanted to write about it in my second book. It's once again, it's a story that needs to get out there. People need to know. Girls need to know that messing around with witchcraft's no joke, and it might not come at you right away. It can come at you years later. Mm-hmm. And is that worth the risk of something that could haunt you for the rest of your life? And so many different ways. I mean, life is so short. It's not worth messing around with that sort of stuff. But, you think about kids and people when they're young, and the demonic, they target people who are abused, and they're around, they feel alone in their life, and they try to nudge them to get involved with this stuff. That's the delicate nature of, like, who I would say reconsider getting involved with the paranormal. It's people who have a history of abuse, drug abuse, or things from their past that really is really hard for them to cope with. Those are the types of people that the demonic will go to out of like a dozen people. They can see it around your aura. They know that you're the best potential victimizing soul that they can cause chaos for, because they can tap into the past, present, and future. They can get an idea from that, because that's the spirit realm has no time conception. So those are the types of people that I really would try to sway away from that, because that makes you very susceptible. And once again, it's very important to read up on how these things can attack you psychologically, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So that's why I was reading books on all sorts of things. I read The Demonologist, Ed Lorraine Martin's book, John Zaffis's book, Shadows of the Dark. I read The Dark Sacrament and Ralph's book, Deliver Some Evil, Beware the Night. Reading all these books of people in the pioneer of the field that are really informed and can learn about the craziest, worst case scenarios, what happens in the paranormal is going to help you. So if you ever encounter that situation, you can be objective and keep yourself grounded and protected in every single way.
So what are your thoughts on the Ouija board?
I personally think it's dangerous. I like to call the Ouija board the spiritual Russian roulette, because you could play with it once, you could play it 100 times. It might not happen. I mean, it could be that one time that you do it could be like the worst mistake that you ever done. I mean, 95% of demonic hauntings and possessions start from the Ouija board, from all the books that I've read. So that's pretty telling to me. And some people will say, what's the difference between the spirit box and a Ouija board? And my answer to that, my theory is the fact that we're putting our hands down on a planchette and you're asking the spirit to move with you. And to me, that's inadvertent channeling, where it's inviting it to come in you and move with you. It's almost like puppeteering you with you. And that's where I feel like dowsing rods can be dangerous as well. So when you use the spirit box, it's just speaking through it. You're not asking to let it move with you in some sort of object. And to me, that's probably why it's the most dangerous.
Do you believe in the demon Zozo?
I've had the name pop up before. I mean, there's a lot of demonic entities out there. There's a lot of spirits that will mess around and know that you're looking for that name. So, I mean, could there be that demon name? Absolutely. Can I definitively say that? No. But, I mean, we just base it on experience. There's lots of demons names that have come through on my investigations and my experiences. But do you really know if you're dealing with it or not? We don't know, but we just, like I said, present your experience and figure out if it's truly something genuine or not. But I can't really say definitively.
Now, it's, whoops, let me get another. Sean is going to share with us some audio files, EVPs. Let's see, we have images and also some clips from his YouTube channel. So let's see, what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with the, the EVPs? You want to start with that?
Sure.
All right, so let me see if I can get this going here. Okay, hold on. All right, so this one, Sean, it's where Fredo says hi. Do you want to give a little bit of background on this one?
Sure. So this is another story that's in my book, and at the time I was managing a wine store in my local town, and there was this man, Alfredo. He was my boss, very heavy, low-tone voice guy, very sarcastic, generous guy, but, had his temper, had a big temper. I was actually visiting my aunt in Florida, and I'll never forget, he was calling me saying if I was coming back to work tomorrow, was I flying back to New York, because my aunt was not feeling well, and that's why I went to Florida. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, I'm coming back to work. And I got back to work, and his wife was there. I got to work, I was there for 15 minutes, and the cops stormed through the store and go to the back, and I'm like, there's 3 cops, and I'm like, this isn't good. And then you hear the moans of a wife that just found out her husband had shot himself and killed himself. He had called the police station and said that he was going to kill himself, and to come find his body so his wife wouldn't. And I was just getting involved in the paranormal, and I was closing up the place at night by myself. And even there's one of the clips I think I sent you, Norene, to show as well. I was in the back of the store, I felt someone watching me, and that was the first video I ever got of what I believe to be spirit energy. And I'm like, is there somebody here with me? And this gray blob just starts flying all over my screen, all over the place. And I'm like, here, can you come again? You just see this perfect sphere just go fly right off. And I was asking if it was Fredo. And I took a picture of the front of the store, and I believe I caught his face that's very similar to his facial features that you should be able to see as well. But the day that he was buried,
no, this is the EVP where Fredo says hi.
Yeah, I'm leading to that.
Okay.
So he was buried in the local graveyard of the town, and that night myself and my buddy who was working with me, we went to his grave and we sat and did an EVP. I'm like, Alfredo, if you're here with us, you want to say something? And you hear him say, hi, Sean.
Yeah, here you go. All right, guys, listen closely. I'm only playing it once, so listen closely. Here we go. It's only a couple of seconds. Here we go.
Fredo, we're here at your grave. Do you want to say something?
Okay. All right, now the next one is, that was only 5 seconds, so I hope you heard it. And the next one is, it's an exorcism.
Okay, so I was telling you about the girl who was pregnant, who was possessed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this quick little clip is just a preview of, she was speaking on the phone in other languages. I didn't know what she was speaking. So in this one little clip, I put it in reverse, and you hear her say, "It's an exorcism." And that's after I put it in reverse. And I thought that was beyond creepy.
I heard, these are good. I heard these. I listened to them myself. All right, this one is 4 seconds, so listen up, guys. Here we go. Okay. Then the next one is there a Christian around? And then you thought it was a growl. I didn't hear the growl, but it's not something I'm hearing in person myself. But you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, I sent you a bunch of just random EVPs I found. We were at a Prospect Place in Ohio, and I was walking around, and I think the obulus said like Kristen or something like that. And like, is there a Kristen around? You just hear this loud, really grunt, like it was snarling at to me. That's what it sounded like to me.
Okay. All right. This one is only 7 seconds, so I'm going to play it now. Wonder if I need to turn the audio up on these. I don't know if I can. Hold on. Let me see if I can do it without my thing shutting down. Oh, no, I can't do it. Okay. Okay, here it goes. 7 seconds.
Is there a Kristen around?
Okay, then the next one is, you have Orb, Sean Austin EVP.
Oh, I was in my old apartment, and I was doing an experiment, which is one of the videos that I sent you with the orb ball of energy flying through my hand on command, and this woman screams my name and goes, "It's Sean Austin."
Now, is that the blue picture with you have something in your hand, and there is something blue coming from your hand? Is that it? The image.
That's a picture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the picture in a place in Connecticut, but I sent you a video too, wherein I was trying to prove that balls of energy of the orbs are real, and in my old apartment, I asked the spirit to fly through my hand, and you see a perfect sphere fly right through my hand on command.
Okay, is that the video that says 2011 best orb?
Yes.
Okay. So do you want me to? Well, we'll do that after. Let's go ahead and play this audio, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. So this one's 25 seconds. Here we go.
You come in front of the light and do a circle. Right here, do a circle. Fly in a circle and then fly away. Because that's really good if you can do that.
All right. I hope you guys heard that. That one was 20. Oh yeah, this one was 25 seconds, so that was a pretty good one. All right, now the next one is, oh, I love this one. Zach, don't say anything.
Okay. So this was involved with a girl who was possessed, and her child saw something scary the night before, and I was on video on Skype with them, and he was hiding behind her, and she's like, "Come on, tell him what happened," and he looks terrified, like hiding behind her, and she's like, "He's not going to say anything." And then right after that, I was recording audio as this was happening. You hear this voice go, "Don't say a thing or else." Like, just like that. Like, it was threatening this kid not to say anything. And I thought that was pretty creepy, to say the least.
All right, so I'm going to play it. This one's only 5 seconds, so listen up.
He's not gonna talk.
Oh, this one's really low. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay, hold on. All right, wait a minute. I gotta get another one. Let me grab this one. Hold on. It's not playing. Hold on. Just a minute. I'm gonna get another one. Hold on. I think I still have the folder audio.
Yeah, I sent you a bunch of random things that I just randomly saw.
All right, here. Let me grab it. Grab this. All right, hold on. Let me set this up. All right, hold on, guys. Let me just set this up. All right, I'm playing this one. Zach, don't say anything or else. Here we go.
He's not gonna talk.
All right. And then, let's see, we have... Oh, I couldn't hear this one. 1952 was your title to this one. What was this one about?
I just sent you like a bunch from a folder. That was like when I first started investigating. I think I just asked, what was the year that you died? And that's when I heard back.
Well, let me see if they can hear it. Honey, I couldn't hear it, but let me see if they can. So the audio says 1952.
What year did you die? What year did you die? What year did you die? What year did you die?
Okay.
What year did you die? What year did you die?
Okay, so the next one is, oh, God, the Andy Griffith whistle.
That's an insane one.
Set that one up.
Yeah, so my old apartment, my dad loves watching Andy Griffith. And if you know the theme song. He was over the apartment, he was watching Andy Griffith, and about 3 hours later, it was at night, I was by myself in my old apartment, and I just started recording silence, pure silence in my apartment, and I listened back, and there's literally a spirit whistling the theme song to Andy Griffith.
All right, this one's 7 seconds. Okay. Okay, I hope you guys heard that one because that one was clear. Okay, now let's see. The last one. Oh, I love this one. Have a crush on Sean.
Oh yeah,
I
this
love
crazy.
this.
So I'll link up that actually. My first experience ever when I went to the cemetery with my skeptic friend. We went to a local cemetery, had a lure of 3 women in all white that would chase you out, and we went to this part of the cemetery where the children are buried, and I saw this little girl grave. Her name was Jenny, and that was the first EVP I ever got. 2 weeks after I went to that cemetery, I saw a shadow of a little girl in my room, in that my old apartment, and it disappeared. I ran into my psychic friend at the time when I first started getting involved in the paranormal, before I even had abilities. And she's like, you have a little girl that's following you around. I'm like, well, that kind of makes sense. My sister was in my bedroom at my old apartment, and she decided to do an EVP. And she's like, is there anyone here that wants to say something? And then you just hear this little girl go, I have a crush on Sean.
Oh.
And it's just insane.
I know, I love this one. All right, I'm playing this one, guys. This one is 7 seconds. Here we go.
Is there anybody here that would like to say something? Is there anybody here that would like to say something? Is Is there anybody here that would like to say something?
Okay, I hope you guys all heard that one. That one was really cute. All right, then, so since we're showing videos, why don't you sent me, how many videos did you send me? Let me get, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, right?
I don't even remember.
Yeah,
I just sent you a bunch of random.
Yeah, I had an image of, I can't find it now. I had, let me see. I had a picture that gave me the titles under those videos. Because when I put them in my, let me see if I can find that picture. I made a picture of it so I could have it. Actually. Well, you're going to have to help me out.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so this one here, I think this is the one you're talking about. It's a,
yeah,
it's
I sent you 5.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I have 4.
Oh, okay.
This one here is a dark hallway, a gray hallway. It says 2011 best something.
Okay, so that's when after I got the video of my boss's spirit, what I believed that night when I was by myself, of this gray blob flying all over the place. I had some people being skeptical about, oh, it's a bug, this and that. So I thought about an experiment that I could prove that orbs are real. So I went to the stairs of my old apartment 9 years ago, and I put my hand up, and I asked if a spirit could fly their ball of energy through my hand, and you see right on command a ball of energy that goes directly through my hand. And nowhere else do you see dust flying anywhere besides exactly where I asked it to go. And when it did, I felt a little static charge when it went through my hand.
All right, so I'm going to play this one. This one's 43 seconds, guys, so here we go.
Can you come by my hand? Fly to my hand. Fly through my hand. Whoa. Wow. I just felt it go through my hand. That was
Is there audio on this one?
I mean, I was being really kind of silent, but it's
okay.
more about just seeing what happens, because I kind of whispered, just saying, wow, that just happened.
Let me check. Let me see on this one, too, if there's audio.
I mean, you don't really need to hear anything. There's nothing to hear. It's more about what you're seeing.
All right, how about this one? 2011 something. It looks like it's a store.
That's where I was in the back of the wine store after my boss killed himself. I felt a presence with me. It's the first time I did video of anything, and I put the video up, and I'm like, is there somebody here with me? And this gray blob just starts flying all over the camera, and you'll see.
All right, you know what? Since I have the picture of that one with your boss and that image, right?
Yes.
All right, let me show okay, so since we're going to do the video, let's do the picture at the same time here. It has that same background where you took the picture, and then there's a picture of your boss. So tell them about this one before we do the video.
So I took a picture of the front of the store that night, and I believe my boss's face came up in the window, and I circled it. And if you look at the real picture of my boss and the picture and the facial expressions that are coming out of the manifestation, the cheek and the heavy set face, it's like identical to me. You be the judge. But I mean, for me, knowing the man and seeing that, it was just mind blowing to me.
Okay, so I just showed them that back to back. Now I'm going to show them the video. Now, video's a minute, guys. So here we go. This is a minute-long video.
There's somebody here. Manifest yourself. Come in front of the camera. Fredo, anyone? What the fuck? Whoa. What the fuck was that? Could you do it again? I just saw an orb in front of the camera.
Oh, must have finished. Okay. Are you able to see this on your phone, Sean?
No, I can't see from
okay.
here.
All right. All right, so the next video, scary ass something.
Oh, okay. So this was that was during the time where I was being oppressed. I came back from Bobby Mackey's and something had lashed itself onto me, and I was going through oppression. It's not a walk in the park, to say the least. And I was going to cemeteries by myself and just sitting there. I just felt so terrible. It was a psychological breakdown of me. But it was also because I was going through a spiritual awakening at the same time. And, someone coerced me to play with the Ouija board. And it was just a combination of a shitstorm that led to this experience. And I was sitting there in the cemetery at night by myself, and I just started to smell rotting flesh.
Oh.
And you could just hear something say, "Hail to this," and "hail to that," to do two different demons.
Oh my God. Okay, hold on for 1 second. I don't know what happened to that file. All right, so here we go. This one is a short video. This one is 42 seconds. Hold on. Here we go.
You're just trying to do something to me? You're just trying to do something to me?
Okay, so that one finished. All right, and the last one, gosh, Sean, it says ghost something. It's 6 seconds.
It says what?
Ghost something on the bottom.
Ghost something.
Yeah, and it's 6 seconds. Let's see. Let me see if I can go. All right, hold on. Let me go into my. I don't know what it is. I can't find the file on that on my the videos. I can't find it. So all I know, it just says go something, and it's 6 seconds. I can go into my. Hold on. I'll go into my Gmail account and see if I can find it.
Yeah, I was gonna see if I can find that too.
See if I can find where you sent where the audios were. This is Sean. Video clips. Here we go. Expand. Oh God. Oh, ghost files at a cemetery.
Oh.
Ghost files at a cemetery.
So I was doing a live stream on my Periscope, which I do a lot when I investigate places, and there was like a bunch of people watching, and it was during the day. It was actually the day of the supermoon. I was walking around a local cemetery near me. It's a huge cemetery. I think it's like 300 acres, Woodlawn Cemetery. And I was walking around, and it was around 4 something afternoon, and all of a sudden, actually my viewers caught it at first, and I'm like, what was that? And it's a ball of light that actually comes from away from the camera and comes right at it and then swings. It has a trail of light. I mean, it was mind-blowing because I've never gotten something like that during the day. and so clear. I mean, I had a skeptic friends like, well, what is that, CGI? And to me, it's like, if someone's claiming it to be CGI and I can't fake live video, so it just proved to me like that was pretty interesting.
All right, so this video is 6 seconds, so here we go.
"6 years. That'll be in my book. What happened and how I got involved."
Okay, that was pretty fast.
Uh-huh.
All right, so now do you want to go over the pictures that you sent me?
Sure.
All right, so this is all right, here. I know you know what you sent me, so. All right, so this is the one I think you were talking about, the pregnant girl. This is the, you said it's a face in the hallway of a case of a girl I'm writing about in my next book, who was dealing with signs of possession while she was pregnant with a baby, felt creepy, and she took a picture in the hallway. So I'm showing that picture now.
Yes.
To the viewers.
This is when she was feeling creepy in her home and took a picture of the hallway, and you can see this face, and to me it looks like a witch. It's pretty creepy.
And let's see, where is that image? Because it's hard for me to see it.
Where is the image?
Yeah, I mean, no, where would the picture of the image of the witch that you see in that image? I know it's blue off to the left.
Yeah, there's a face up in the top left you're talking about?
I don't know, is that where it's at?
Yeah. I can actually, what do you want to call it? Here.
So it's I can zoom in on it. Is it it's the left?
So, right here.
Oh, right in there. All right, well, let me see. I kind of zoomed in on that.
The face right there.
Okay, here, let me show. Okay, hold on, do that again. I'll bring you up. Go ahead. Okay,
Yeah,
so oh, I see it. I can see it from here.
Yeah.
Okay, now wait a minute. Turn it a little bit. Oh God, it was clear. I saw it, but I couldn't see it on the. Oh my goodness, I can see it.
Yeah.
I don't know, viewers. Can you guys see that? Because I can really see it from my computer.
Yeah, it looks like a witch to me.
Yeah, it is a face. Wow. Okay, so all right, now picture number 2. All right, this one. Okay, this is a picture that was taken at a graveyard. Someone took a picture of you. You were trying to communicate with the spirit, and you can see the stream of light flying through and the ovulus and my phone as I was trying to use it to communicate with them.
Correct, yes.
All right, I'm showing it to them now. What else do you want to say about that?
Yeah, we were in a cemetery, and this girl was taking shots, and I mean, I thought that was pretty astounding that this literally perfect stream of light was flying right through my devices as we were using that to try to communicate with them, and it seems that's exactly what the spirit was doing.
Okay. Then, okay, so this one here, this one is picture 5, Sean, and oh, the scratches. This one is your friend Gregory getting scratched at a cemetery.
Yes, this local cemetery to me, I've been there so many times. I've had so many experiences. I do believe that there's a portal in this cemetery. I call this cemetery my local Union cemetery. Like, Ed Warren had his favorite little local cemetery that he would go all the time to capture the lady in white and have experiences. And I've had so many experiences in this cemetery too. And one night I went there with my buddy Gregory, got out of the car and just felt just something bad was there, just the negative oppressive feeling. And my buddy had a bad day that day, and of course he did something stupid and started to say, come on, do something to me. And right afterwards, those scratch marks, he felt burning on his side. It was pitch dark that night, and he didn't even know what was there. I had to lift up his shirt and took a light on it. I was just astounded because I've never seen scratches that big before, and they were from his nipple all the way down to his waist.
Damn.
and they were so thick they looked like lipstick marks.
Oh my God. All right, next one is an ITC session, I guess you did. ITC water, where you move the water around. Well, do you want to explain to them, for those who don't know about the water ITC?
So it's something I did when I first started investigating. I heard about doing water ITC, where you move around the water and you ask a question and then you get an image. And my question was, show me something of religious significance. And there's two pictures that I actually sent you.
Yes.
When I asked this question, I got two things back. There was a glowing cross, and then the other one was a demonic face. And then you can be the judge what you see.
All right, let me show this one, and let me show the other one. I've done that, and I've done that before. It was fascinating.
It's interesting, yeah.
When we did it, I actually got Tony Soprano. You know The Sopranos?
Oh, wow.
Oh, I was in love with him, and his face came through. A spitting image of him.
That's crazy.
All right, so this one here. Oh, this one is awesome. All right, this one here is. This was an image that you took at Letchworth Village in New York, at an abandoned, haunted asylum.
Yep.
Do you remember that one?
Is this the one with the shadow in the doorway?
And a hand sticking out and some black thing coming down. Yeah.
That place is super haunted.
We'll tell them about it.
Yeah, this place, obviously your typical asylum where patients have been mistreated, lobotomies, and all sorts of experiments of these poor mentally challenged people. Yeah, I mean, this was the first place that I ever went to that was haunted, that was abandoned. You know, we didn't have any places really to go, and that was the one that was closest, and we went there a bunch of times, and I had so many experiences. I wrote about it in my book, and this picture was, we were walking through the hallway, and I was just snapping pictures in the rooms as I was walking by, and you can see this shadow with this little hand, like, peeking out, holding on to the side of the door, peeking out. It's just really creepy.
Yeah, that is. All right, then the next picture here is, okay. This is the little orbs, red energy lights in red.
Above my hand. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this was the same night that the ball of light was, with the stream of light, was going through my device in the ovulus. So a couple of their pictures were taken, and you can see the same type of different energies with a trail of light under different colors flying through the cemetery in front of us.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay, this one's creepy. This one is 8. This one is a figure standing in the hallway on the Letchworth Village at an abandoned asylum.
Yes.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
It looks, well, it's a person, obviously. Were you doing an EVP session while this happened?
Yeah. I don't remember exactly what we were doing, but I was just snapping pictures. We've gotten a lot of creepy stuff there before. There's been doors that have slammed, objects, pieces of furniture that have been thrown around, growls, chairs vibrating. I mean, all sorts of stuff has happened at that place when we were there.
But this, now, why did you take this picture while you were doing the EVP session and somebody snapped this picture? Was there a reason?
Yeah.
Did they hear something?
I was snapping pictures just like I was doing with the other image, just constantly snap, snap, snap.
Well, there's something obviously standing there.
Yeah.
Wow, that is creepy, Sean, really. All right, oh, and this one here, this one is the window with the red eyes.
Okay. Yeah, so my old apartment's up on the 3rd floor in the attic, and I know some people would say, like, oh, maybe those are car lights or something like that. There's nothing back there, only woods, and it's on the top floor, and all you have is trees. And I felt creepy, like something was watching me. And now, mind you, my old apartment, this is when I was a beginner investigator, and I was doing EVPs in my house. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was also obsessed. I was excited, and once you're aware of that world, it's everywhere. And there's a lot of things coming around me. And I took a picture, and there's 2 red glowing eyes looking at me from the window. That was pretty unsettling.
Yeah, I took another image of this, a really close-up of this. Let's see if they can see that. I could see it. Definitely could see it. Okay, well, I guess that does the pictures because we already showed the other one with your boss.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, Sean. Gee, is there anything else you want to say to the viewers? Anything you want to talk about? Oh, actually, they can buy your book. Let me show them your book.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, they can buy this book where? On Amazon? Where?
You can get it on Amazon. Just type in Sean Austin Shadow Chaser. And if you want a signed book, I do mail out personally signed books out to people in the U.S. And you go to SeanDAustin.com, SEAN, D as in David, AUSTIN.com.
And your website?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
SeanDAustin.com, and then I have my typical social media, Sean D. Austin at Twitter, Sean D. Austin at Instagram, and all that stuff.
You know, I have to tell you, I didn't have time, but I wanted you to send me that little clip. I think it was like a 33-second video clip of your new song. Was it Shadow Chaser?
No, I have a song called Shapeshifter.
Shapeshifter. Oh my God. I love it.
Oh,
I would
you.
have loved to have played it for the viewers tonight. Oh my God. Where can they buy that? It's coming out on an album though, not a single.
You can get it all out on iTunes and Amazon and all that good stuff. And if you want a physical copy, you can get it from my website too.
Oh, that's an awesome. Guys, you should hear that song. It's fabulous. If you go to Sean's website, he has a little 33-second clip on his song. Fabulous. Really good job.
Yeah, I actually wrote that song about my oppression. And basically what the song is that whatever hurdle that we go through in life can take any shape or form. It could be a demonic entity. It could be anything. And we have a chance to win with every chance we take to conquer it and accomplish overcoming it, turning to something good. And that's really what the song's about.
Awesome. Really awesome. Well, Sean, thank you so much. Anytime you want to come on the show, talk about anything. Was there anything new coming up for you?
Well, I'm working on my second book, and I do plan to go back down to Nashville to record a couple of new singles to come out in the summer sometime.
Awesome.
And, when there's some other new stuff coming, and we'll see what happens from there.
Oh, awesome. Anytime you want to come back on the show to talk about anything, just let me know. I love having you on the show. Guys, this is his fourth time on the show, and I'll put links to the other shows that he's been on underneath this video. Sean, thank you so much. Best wishes on your book and your song, your new song that's out. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, too. Thank you so much. Good night, honey. Good night. Wow. God, I love having Sean on the show. He's such an awesome guest. He's so knowledgeable in the paranormal, and I love hearing his stories. So, everybody, thanks so much for joining us. I'll be here again. Like I said, I'll be here till May 19th, so let's see, who's our guest next week? Oh, on March 7th, Vanessa Hogel returns to the show with Julia Saracusa, and they did a documentary on Holly, this little girl Holly, I think she was about 7 years old, that disappeared on Staten Island. And Julia Saracusa was a friend of hers when they were kids. And it's a really, really good story. It has to do with the kids that disappeared. There's a whole bunch of kids that disappeared on Staten Island. And it all had to do with this Andre Rand, who they blamed for the disappearances. So it'll be a good show. And then March 21st, Dave Spinks comes back. He's writing a book on West Virginia ghosts and urban legends. So he's coming back then, okay? So we have two shows. Gacy's in the chat room tonight, and Gacy does EVP sessions, ITC, with Ghostbox, and he contacts the Mafia. So I asked him to come on the show. I think we'll do a couple of shows on ITC sessions with Gacy. I'll be in contact with him. All right, guys, so let's do some shout-outs. Hey, have a great weekend. Everybody be safe out there. The weather is really bad. California's been hit with a lot of floods, a lot of rain. lots of snow in the Sierras, and I know there's a lot of problems out there happening too with everybody around with all the snow and everything. So let's do some shout outs. Again, I want to thank you so much, and thanks to our mods, Royce Hinman and Cassandra 50. I don't know if Unique Annie was in tonight. But don't remember, without our mods, Royce and Cassandra and Annie wouldn't have the great chat room that we have. And thanks for coming over here. I know it's not the regular channel, and I'm really happy for those who did show up tonight. And thanks again. I appreciate it, because this is all I can do for tonight. All right, so let's do some shout outs. Let me see. Royce sent me a list. Of course, the mods, Royce and Cassandra. Andrew and his trucking gnomes, B3 Airspace. Oops. Chippetary, Deborah Schlegel, Gacy, X, James Griffiths, Nancy Lee, Robert Hanna, Rosemary Fiorato, Tammy Heitzman, the Haglin. I don't know if Carl White and will find us, but anybody else? Princess Patricia, thank you. Jane Edwards. Anybody else want to shout out? Oh yeah, I knew. Of course, Andrew. I knew that was you, Andrew Cox. Thanks so much. Okay, guys, I hope I didn't miss anybody. We had a nice crowd tonight, and I want to thank you all so much again for being here, and always the loyal, always show up for my shows. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you hadn't subscribed to my other channel, Paranormal Zone TV, maybe you can go over there and subscribe too. Okay? Anyway, I appreciate it. And, Lisa Marie. Hi, Lisa. Anybody else? Yeah, I want Gacy to come on. We'll do some ITC sessions. I haven't done that in a long time. Dave used to do those with me, but he doesn't have time to do those anymore, and I love that. All right, so, but I'll be posting. So don't forget, if you, Tracy Clark, okay, honey, hey, sign up for reminders at paranormalzone.tv and click on the little link that says show reminder, and make sure you check. I've sent out 300 invites, reminders. So if you didn't get it, then either you change your email address, or it's in the spam folder. So check that. And Graham Crosby, yes, Graham. So check that, and but go ahead and go over there and sign out, because I send out the reminders. I don't know if you'll remember this channel or not. I don't know where else I can post. You guys have any suggestions where I could post, where you'll see the invite? Because I do it on my fan page on Do You Believe on Facebook. I have a Paranormal Zone TV. Those are that's a like page. And I have it on my main Facebook page. I don't know where else I can post where you guys could to find out about the shows, except, put your name in to get show reminders. So guys, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I want to go back to my old channel, my main channel, but that's okay. I'll be here for a while, and I appreciate you coming over. So don't forget about this, okay? So have a great weekend, and God, can you believe it? Tomorrow is, I think, March 1st. Where did the year go? It's already March. I can't believe it. So everybody, love you guys. Thank you. Gacy, are you still in here? Yeah, Gacy has a YouTube channel. What is it, Gacy? Paranormal Response is your YouTube channel? Yeah, we'll get Gacy to come over and do some ITC sessions. That'll be fun. All right, love you guys, and night, my mods, Royce and Cassandra. Thank you, honey. Love you guys. I will. Now that I figured out, this one was a little touchy on streaming on here tonight because it doesn't work the same as my main channel. So, oh, good. Good, you check Facebook. And anyway, this one was a little touchy. This one is not, doesn't work the same as the shows that I do on my main page, but I finally figured it out. Now I know what to do. So everybody, love you. Good night. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Good night. Love you guys. Good night.